Hello friends, hello flight simmers, welcome back to the good old Queen of the Skies, the 747-400. Look at this beauty, United Airlines Battleship Grey. And as you can easily guess from the livery itself, we are back to something I haven't done in a long time. I thought it's about time to get back to the sort of historic flights, which I've done a couple of them up to this point. And yeah, this was essentially driven by not a whole lot going on lately in the Microsoft Flight Sim space, so I figured it's a time as good as any to go back to the good old P3D, which in itself is kind of antique at this point. And then also we do some historic flying in this yeah, really cool aircraft. Don't know why, but I think this is, of all the United liveries which have existed throughout the days, I think this is my favorite one. It just looks so badass in a way. It's I think it's truly amazing. And yeah, so we are, to be specific, let's pull it up. I have this handy little tool called Flight Sim Dispatch, where you can search for historic flights. So we are back in the summer of 1989, flying United Airlines 862. Registry which was actually November 183 Uniform Alpha. It was not available in the PMDG system, so we are flying November 180 Uniform Alpha. From Sydney to San Francisco, block time 13 hours 20, and we will have a look at the flight plan in just a second. It's close to that. And yeah, departing Sydney afternoon time, and then arriving to San Francisco 9:20 in the morning. How cool is that? I really kind of fancy that. And maybe, yeah, let's do the full stuff. Airfleets.net, really cool website if you want to look up on specific airframes. So that's the one we are flying, 180. First flight in 1991, was retired in 2017. And this is quite interesting. So this is actually running the Pratt & Whitney engines, and I can't quite remember, but I don't think I've ever really flown the Pratt & Whitneys on the 747, because most of them, I believe, have the GE engines, and then there's a bunch of them, some freighters, and also British Airways, most famously, of course, having the Rolls-Royce engines, or had. It's all in the past now. So they had the Rolls-Royce engines on the 747, but United actually had the Pratt & Whitney, so that's kind of cool as well. Right, and then maybe as a last window in here, and then we will get it inside the cockpit. So flight plan, we are operating pounds, obviously. 13 hours and 5 minutes. 0 fuel weight, 482 out of 545, and takeoff weight 839 out of 875. Block fuel, 358,000 pounds. Crazy. How much are we burning? 303,000 pounds. Wow. That is a lot of fuel. And we're carrying 345 passengers, 19,000 pounds of cargo, and yeah, that's essentially it. Very much looking forward. We don't need to look at the weather. The weather is one thing amongst a few which is really hard to to do in the past, especially that far back in the past, right? So we are obviously flying weather from just a few days ago. And also another thing I decided to do is we have AI traffic. No, we don't have. Oh, why is AI traffic not here? It was here just a minute ago. Give me a sec. There we go. Now we have traffic, and this is obviously also not the traffic from 1989. That would actually be super cool if there was an add-on allowing to have historic traffic in here. That would be kind of cool, seeing other 747s. I don't know what they had back then. MD-80s, all this good kind of stuff. That would be cool. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I believe, without any further ado, let's, or maybe just looking out for active runway. Do we see any traffic just now? No. Okay, then we will check out the winds in just a second, and we will know that Garuda is pushing out. Okay. Alright, here we go, and surprisingly it's even louder than it's from the outside. Recirculator fans are on, yeah, they're producing quite some noise, I believe. Alright, anyhow, we are on external power APU still off. First things first, IRSS. Nav, and nav. Time to land in 0 minutes, or maybe it is set up in a somewhat unrealistic way then, but never mind. Let's see if it's aligning straight away. Which would not be too bad. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Because I still need to do the D-Link as well. Which is entered in here. So D-Link connect. That's that. Then, yeah, maybe we start with the weights actually. Fuel. Looking back at my flight plan. Block fuel 358717. So let's go 359. 359,000 pounds. Ooh, 93.6. That's a lot. Holy cow, that's close to maximum. And then payload. We have 0 fuel weight 482.9. 2.9. Yeah, that's quite some space in there. And what I did as well, because SimBrief is only calculating for what I believe is the Rolls-Royce engines, and I don't know how much they burn in comparison to the Pratt & Whitney. So what I've done as well is I've added 45 minutes of extra fuel. You know, just to be on the very safe side of things. Right, so that's that. Return. Going in here. Wow, it is also so incredibly long since I last been in P3D. San Francisco, but then I hope we don't need to enter the route manually, because that would actually kill me. This should be it. 6,510 nautical miles. Okay, and then we can also check out the weather. Active sky, Sydney. Conditions 250 at 3. Okay, 26, 1023. 250 at 3. So actually I think it is quite a good idea to check out the AI traffic. And they are, yeah, he's heading up there to runway. Oh gosh, I have no idea what it is. 16 right, that will be. Okay. Load the routes. Invalid entry, I believe that's quite normal. What else do we need? Flight number, I don't think that's actually needed, but just for the sake of it. United Airlines 862. Right. Okay, first waypoint Dipso, direct to Dipso. Departure 16 right. And it's gonna be the Sydney 3 radar departure route. And then for the arrival we'll just tune something generic, so ILS 28 left. And then on the flight plan we have nothing as well. That's quite unusual. That's actually gonna be the Cine. It's the Pirate 3 coming from Cine. And then the, I believe that's going to be the Eddy transition. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We will look at the charts once we brief our arrival later on. Okay, now in the legs page I think we might have double Cine in there. Eddy, Vectors, Arc, Pirate Passive, Cine, there we go, and this needs to come up to this Cine. Yeah, this looks better. Righty. Wind data uplink ready. That is cool. First need to do the performance. 0 fuel weight, 482. Reserves, 19.3. Cost index, 2.5. Cruise altitude initially 290 only. So we are quite heavy indeed. KO, okay, that's fine. Now let's go into Lex page route data. Let's see, are we having a tailwind or a headwind? We will find out in just a few seconds. Tailwind, massive. 86.1 for arrival. $86.1, that's a lot. 86.1, that's really a lot. I mean, we have 15,000 contingency, 10,000 alternate, and 10,000 final reserves. This alone is 35. And then we have approximately 20, which I planned extra, which makes it 55. 55, and this is giving 86. So I mean, there's some variance in the wind data, of course. There is, or it's either the Pratt & Whitney's burning a whole lot less, but I can hardly believe it. I don't think there's supposed to be such a great difference between those engines types. But in any case, I don't need my extra fuel. So let's decrease to, yeah, I essentially can get rid of all of it, 18,000 extra fuel. So let's go right down to 340. $73 still. That's, wow, that's still a lot. Init performance fuel 339. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's plenty. That is plenty, I'd say. Okay. Thrust limit. Now, here's the issue. We don't have a calculator, so we could either use the calculator for the Rolls-Royce, or we just take the opportunity and go full send and just go toga thrust, and then we will just rocket out of Sydney, and I think that would be quite cool actually. So let's do that. And flap 10 or flap 20. Let's check the speeds. Flap 20, 165. Flap 10, 171. Yeah, I kind of want high speeds. Let's go with this one. So 183. 183, and then I need my charts. So Sydney 3 radar departures, it's a vector departure, right? So it's very simple. Initial heading 155 to 800. And then we will do a nice left-hand swing out towards the ocean. Yeah, turn to assigned heading or track. Expect radar vectors. Okay, we will do that on our own. 155 then. In here, and altitude 290. Flight directors. heading select and VNAV actually. And then let's put on the APU. Oh, was that long enough? I don't know. And then I actually need to get my checklist as well. Alright, let's start with the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen, let's call it tested. Flight instruments heading 150. Sorry, that was wrong. 331, 331. Okay, what's going on with my camera? What's happening? Okay, 331, 331. Altitude showing just below 40. Here as well. Altimeter is 1023 3 times as set. Parking brake is set and fuel control switches are cut off. Pre-flight checklist is completed. Right, boarding and loading seems to be completed as well. So let's go down here. Doors, close all. This can come to 1000. Not that it makes any difference flying online, but just for the sake of it, we will arm everything. Ground connections, making sure APU generator 1 and 2 is running, and then we will remove everything. And I feel like there's something interfering with my chase plane setup. Alright, all the doors are closed. So let's continue with the before start checks. Flight deck door should be closed. Passenger signs. Oh man, I'm not well prepared. I'm just noticing that right now. This comes to on smoking, it's gonna stay on. MCP is set V2 at 183, heading 155, altitude 290. Takeoff speeds V1 155, VR 171, V2 183. C2 pre-flight is completed. Trim. Aileron trim, I don't think we can. Sorry, elevator trim we can't set right now. Rudder trim. Aileron trim is 0. Right, taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Sort of, we have not talked about the taxi, we will do that in a second, and beacons are coming to both right now. Is this on? Yes, that's on. Right, let's call for pushback. And then we can, this can come continuous. All the fuel pumps, center override, ATS not required, window heats coming on. PEX actually to normal, just for the time being. I think it might have gotten quite hot now in the cabin. Wow, I don't know shit about Fahrenheit. I can never translate it to Celsius, so I believe it is quite high, but it should come down. Yeah, back there in the cabin it's quite warm. 75 is the target, so now it's 86, it needs to come down. Okay, sorry for that, passengers. Getting a bit sweaty there. VORs. I think he said bypass pin insert, so we will go to auxiliary. Go facing alpha, I believe is the one we need. Yes.
Release parking brakes, please.
parking brake is coming off.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Really, really nice. Okay, passengers, sorry about that, but you're gonna get sweaty once again. Also both, yeah, I don't know anything specific about the Pratt & Whitney, so let's just go with 1 and 2. Oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantities dropping, that all looks good. Let's give it some fuel.
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Parking brakes are set. Same procedure for 3 and 4.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
I'm a little bit unsure whether I've set up a wing view or not. Yes, I have. Look at how shitty these textures are compared to what we are now used to in Microsoft Flight Sim. All right. Sometimes it's really stuttery, but then it improves again. It's a little bit odd. I don't know. Have a good trip, GSX says. That is quite nice. So these can come off. These come to auto. Packs back to normal. We have a flap 10 we set. Now we can do the trim as well. 6.2. Oh, that's actually quite spot on. Now we just need to do quick flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder, full left, and full right. Right, then before taxi checklist, NDS not required recall. Fuel pump stabilizer right and left. Okay. TCAS off. Yeah, we can fix that in a second. Recall is fine. Continuous ignition. Yes, I believe that stays on for the departure. Auto brake. RTL, that's something I almost forgot. Flag roads, check ground equipment is clear. Alright. Taxi and turn of lights. Off we go, and then let's go TA, and then this one will be gone as well. Traffic, weather. Let's put in some power. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that my viewpoint is a little bit shitty actually. if I'm not mistaken, this one is to be set up in a way that if you look directly left, you should see this right in front of you. So it's a little bit weird. Maybe like this. Is that better than before? Yeah, maybe this makes more sense. Alright folks, we are getting there and looks to me like the approach is free. So before takeoff checklist, flaps are set to position 10. Before takeoff checklist is completed, let's do the lights. And we shall be off within the blink of an eye. Maybe not take it too fast around the corner with such a heavy weight, and it's still fast. 6 knots is a little bit better. Wow, I'm looking forward to that, man. Beautiful 747. Nice, with the Sydney there in the background. Wow, this looks so cool, and I think I've messed up AI traffic because they are now departing this way. There was a Jetstar crossing, so let's just send it because he's texting. Oh yeah, let's just go for it, guys. Let's get rockin'. Okay. Oh, timer. I should start maybe. Actually, like this, and then like this. Alright, guys. Oops, sorry, wrong key. Let's go. Take off. Bam, that sound. TOUGHPOWER.
80 knots.
80 knots is checked. This is so cool.
V1.
V1. Oh man, we're using a whole lot of runway.
Rotate.
Rotate. Let's go flying.
V2.
Let's get airborne. There we go. Gear is coming up. What a beautiful thing. Climb power. Let's go. Yeah, we can turn left. Let's go. Manual flying. Wow, man, that's cool. Yeah, I used a whole lot of power there on. That was full thrust. Whole lot of runway. Let's complete the turn and then I will go flap 5. Look at this. Not too bad for P3D. Not too bad. flying. Let's trim it out a little bit. Okay, let's see. Where's our first waypoint? Dipso. LNAV. This is coming off. Now we can go flap 5. Really, really cool. Hardly accelerating. Let's go autopilot. Oh, I keep hitting the disconnect button. Don't know why. Autopilot. Am I stupid commands? Oh gosh. I've not been in a 747 for a while. Right, flaps 1. Setting some lights. And yeah, now it's just gonna be 13 hours of ocean crossing. Nothing in between. And we can go flaps up as well. After takeoff checklist, landing gears up and off, flaps are up after landing checklist after takeoff checklist completed, of course. This one can come off, and yeah. That's it, guys. That's that for the departure. 13 hours ahead of us. Very, very much looking forward to the landing into San Francisco later on. And yeah, wishing you a nice cruise, and I will catch you later. Hello folks, welcome back. After 12.5 hours in the air, we are approaching San Francisco, and yeah, very, very much looking forward to this one, landing the Queen of the Skies in San Francisco. And just looking at the charts, passing passive, we can now back to manage speed as well. Right, so where do we start? Maybe with the fuel. So now we have 55.6, I believe. When we prepped the flight, it still read something like 70 for arrival, so it actually came in lower than expected. Might be some wind differences compared to what I've planned, but yeah, still quite a noticeable difference. So I'm happy that we have plenty of fuel on board, and with 55,000 pounds now we have plenty of fuel available. Right, and then maybe continuing with the weather. Down in San Francisco, we have winds 300 at 1.3. Broken to 20,000, 13 degrees. Few clouds 900. So few clouds down there, but other than that, seems to be a very nice day in San Francisco. Just a little bit windy. Altimeter is 3013. That's set already. And then we can also, wait, I need to dial this down a bit more, 8,000. Yeah, let's look at the charts. So obviously, the most common landing direction in San Francisco, it's either be 28 left or 28 right. Right now we have 28 left in the FMC. But since we are flying with offline traffic, I think once we get close to the airfield and we see that one of the runways is occupied by AI traffic, we might as well just do quick visuals, which I'm not sure if this is even a procedure that's being done at San Francisco, but I think for our case today it will work quite well. And yeah, just the normal ILS into San Francisco. We have done this plenty of times before, so that's nothing new. And then we will vacate. I think back here, Quebec actually is sufficient. I'm not sure where they parked back in the days, and I think back in the days the layout of the airport was even a bit different. But United International Terminal is back here, Terminal 3. I think the Golf stands, so that's where we are headed today as well. Right, so that's that. Pretty straightforward in terms of the arrival, I'd say. And yeah, today I decided let's go with a flap 25 landing, since we have a fair bit of headwind. Ground speed's not going to be that much anyway, so let's give it a try. 147 plus 5 makes it 152. I think that's still manageable. And then I've selected ORBX 3, and that should be plenty as well. Yeah, so that's the plan, hitting 10,000. Let's put on some landing lights. And descent checklist I've run earlier. Approach checklist, altimeters are set 101. Sorry, not 0.018, of course, that would be standard, but 3013. That is set. Now for waypoint arc, we need to be 230 knots at 8,000 feet spot on. Yeah, Pirate 10,000, that's why we are now leveling out a little bit. But then 8,000 at 230, that's gonna be our goal. I think from now on we can go selected speed. Yeah, and then it really just comes down to AI traffic, how the landing will be. But yeah, should be fine, hopefully. Much looking forward to that. We can't see anything right now, which is a little bit disappointing, because hitting the coast here of California is actually something quite scenic. But unfortunately we don't have that today. Alright, hitting arc in 2 miles, and I've actually changed the SID-B transition, which I believe makes a tiny bit more sense, although not a huge difference anyhow. And yeah, then we really not start to descend and make our way towards the final approach. So let's go down 4,000. Once we hit this one, now we are on vectors, flight level change. Let's see, can we go direct SID-B? Let's see if this is gonna work for the aircraft. LNAV. And now we're slightly high in the profile. But let's see, I think it's gonna work out. Beautiful, there's the airfield back there. As FPS, I can feel them. They're coming down just a touch, but I think I've mentioned that before. It's kind of cool now to fly in P3D because today's normal computer systems are now kind of overpowered to run P3D, and that's pretty cool to essentially be able to turn all these settings all the way up, and no need to worry about FPS or anything. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, 500 feet high, that's okay. We can start bring out the flaps any second now. Let's see, go around altitude will be 4,000, but we need to descend a bit lower than that initially. So let's go down 3,000. Okay, let's go flap 1. Let's go flap 5 as well. So cool. Okay, let's see, localizer. Oh wow, we're way above glide. I remember it happened to me before flying this approach. Let's go flap 10. Localizer's captured. Can we go flap 20 as well? 230 knots? Yes, we can. Okay. Using all the tricks in the book. Oh, just had a hiccup with my recording system there. I hope it's running smooth. Okay, approach. Yeah, let's drop the gear as well. Okay, final approach speed once again was 152. That's the glide. And go around 4,000 is set. Speed brake is arm. Let's set the lights. Easy peasy. And flaps 25. That was a bit of a wild approach. Okay, let's see. One aircraft on the runway, one about to line up. So that's very much. Speaks for a swing over, does it? Okay, now let's see how we get this one done. Okay, let's see. Now this... Oh, where did the aircrafts go? Wait a minute. Why did everything just disappear? Speed brake extend, no why. That's not what I had in mind. So much to do. Bit of a messy approach. Okay, let's focus on flying now. I'm not sure what happened to AI traffic there, why it just got cancelled. A bit of power, not getting too slow here. Alright, a little bit fast, a little bit high. Correcting.
Sync 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, let's grease it. Yeah, that felt quite alright. Reverse green, diesel. Nice. Right, manual braking, idle forward. Let's go a bit further. Forgot to read the landing checklist there, but that got just a little bit hectic there towards the end. Yeah, so since there's no traffic now, we might as well just go out to Quebec and then take a left-hand turn. Right. But in terms of landing, that was at least it felt pretty good. Let's see if we have a touchdown rate on Volanta. 217. Yeah, okay. That's alright. Felt a little bit softer even. Okay, speed brake stowed. Now the next one's gonna be Quebec. Let's do some cleanup stuff. Weather radar. Yeah, now we can take the left-hand turn. 12 hours 50. Pulling into stand, which is Golf 100 here on the airport. I think in real life this has changed now. And one smaller detail I just noticed when I selected the GSX provider, they actually have Historics one in here. So I've selected United 1990 and now we have grey service vehicles. Just a small little detail, but it really complements our flight. Okay, is this gonna change here at some point, or am I gonna run into the terminal? Okay, a few more meters to be fair. A little bit further I'm supposed to go. That's getting really... There we go. Haha. Not sure I ever parked so close to the terminal. Ooh, park and brake is set. APU generators 1 and 2. And then cutting all 4 Pratt and Whitneys. Like this. Transponder 2000. And hydraulics. Fuel pumps. Beacons. That's looking good, and let's ask for deboarding then. Deboarding. Gosh, I always get this wrong. Okay, let's hope this works. Checklist, shutdown checklist, hydraulic panel, set fuel pumps are off, flaps are up, park brake, set fuel control switches are cut off, weather radar is off. Alright, and then I think we can kill IRSs as well. Cool. Alright guys, here we are, welcome to San Francisco. Wow, what a cool journey flying the Battleship Grey United Airlines 747. Yeah, really strange that AI traffic is refusing to work right now, but yeah, it is what it is, never mind. So it feels just a little bit lonely here in San Francisco. Yeah, that was cool. I really liked flying the 747 again in an airline livery which does not longer exist. Let me know what you guys think about these historic flights, and if you fancy them, and if so, if you have any ideas of other cool flights which are not out there anymore but maybe once were, and yeah, then let me know and I can see to make it happen. And yeah, alright, thank you so much for tuning in. I think, or I'm quite sure that next flight we will be back in Microsoft Flight Sim, but I'm not quite sure what it will be, but I will of course do it in due time. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.